The GEICO World Bowling Tour Finals, presented by the PBA, is brought to you by Bayer. Try Bayer Advanced Aspirin, extra strength pain relief, twice as fast as before. By Spiriva Handyhaler. By Brunswick. Find your next ball at bowlwithbrunswick.com. And by Jack Link's. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. Welcome back to the GEICO World Bowling Tour Finals, where Sandra Andersson has defeated fellow Swede Nina Flack, the final 190-160 in the semifinal. Time now for today's More of What Matters to You question, brought to you by the makers of One-A-Day Men's Pro Edge. It comes your way from Tom from Port Charlotte, Florida, and here's Randy with the question.
Thanks, Rob. Carolyn, is the player that throws the ball straight a thing of the past in today's game?
Well, obviously, as you can see from the last match, no, it's not. I think it's, to the advantage, especially when there's a lot of dry. You just got to get lined up to it correctly. But, I've had some success doing it, throwing it a little straight, so I'm going to continue that and hopefully win. All
right, so let's talk about strategy in the upcoming title match. How do you attack this 45-foot oil pad? It's extremely long and heavy. How do you attack it?
It's funny. I've been practicing on it, and actually I've played a lot deeper than I did when we came and practiced here. So I'm going to actually try to be a little more on top of it and make my moves really slight off of that so that I'm not too deep, because that's just not the way the lanes are playing tonight.
Thanks, Carolyn. Good luck.
First step towards the first major of the PBA year comes your way next Sunday, 1 Eastern, right here on ESPN. It's the Don Carter division of the PBA World Championship. Williams, Palermo, Barrett, and Jack the Ripper Jurek in action. For more info, as always, just log on to PBA.com. CDB hasn't won out on the tour since December 7th of 2008. She'll try and end that slide when we return to Vegas. Rob Stone and the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson back here with you from the South Point Casino and Exhibition Hall in Las Vegas. Continuing coverage of the GEICO World Bowling Tour Finals. It is championship match time. Sandra Andersson victorious in match number 1, 190-160 over Nina Flack. Up now, the legend Carolyn Doran Ballard. Here is Sandra to roll first. Leaves the 7.
I think the thing to watch for in this match, Rob, is to see if there is an intimidation factor. Does Sandra feel intimidated by the sheer presence of CDB?
Whiff in the first frame.
She owns 20 career pro titles representing the USA. CDB Carolyn Doran Ballard.
I don't want to harp on Carolyn's age, because she already wants to knock me in the mouth half the time when I see her. But at 47, she admitted yesterday, well, it's official. I'm now more than 20 years older than most of my opponents. And she is still excelling at an extremely high level. And there's Exhibit A.
Yeah. Lots of game there. And I wanted to see out of the gate if she could roll it hard enough to get her ball to tip and face the pocket. That first shot was perfect. I watched her a lot in practice. It looked like her ball was laboring just a little bit. Maybe it was an equipment change, but that ball sure revved up and drove through the pins the way she wanted it to.
Look at her trying to tighten the noose on Andersson here in the second frame. The youngster whiffs on the 7-pin for an open frame, and the opponent, Carolyn, steps up, drops all 10. Here she is to start the second.
Come on! I liked that one too.
That was really good. It's funny, you talk about how she's trying to tighten the noose on Sandra. Right now, the first 2 frames of any professional bowler's TV show, those first 2 frames, you're just trying to breathe. And I guarantee you, no matter how many times Carolyn's been on the air, and no matter how many championships she's won, the first couple of shots, it's hyperventilation time.
Look at that look. Dialed in on the 10 pin and drops it. So the 20-year-old from Ängelholm, Sweden, steps up. Last time she was on the lane, she went left of the 7 pin into the gutter. She's been a member of Team Sweden for the last couple of years. Left the 7 on the left frame, or lane, and left the 10 on the right.
Missed the 7 pin in the first frame. Remember, in her first match against Nina Flack, she missed the 10 pin in the 5th frame. Single pin spares have been a little bit of an issue.
And again, an issue. She's got to pull back, breathe, relax, and get back into her game. Already down 22.
And already making a ball change. Well, she wasn't feeling any pressure to start this match. She's feeling a bunch now. Because not only is she bowling against one of the greatest women players of all time, but she hasn't made a spare yet.
0 for 2 on single pin spares here in the title match. Got it. Exhale. So CDB set for her effort in the 3rd. Here's a look at the 2012 World Bowling Tour schedule. Finland in early January, back to the States, twice in Nevada, Japan, Jersey, Kuwait, and France. And our congratulations to WTBA President Kevin Dornberger for putting together this wonderful event. Continuing events, Texas, the Queens, Bahamas, Korea. I'll tell you, look at all the places that the World Bowling Tour will be going to in 2012. Looks like a nice little vacation, man. There's some great spots.
I'm going to bowl in the Bahamas. I'm going to bowl that event. You know why?
Because it's in the Bahamas?
Exactly. Carolyn Doran-Ballard has not missed the pocket yet, has 1 strike in the 1st, and then followed it up with a ringing 10 and a soft 10.
Strike, spare, spare through 3 for CDB. Carolyn Doran-Ballard, part of Team USA's historic victory in September in Hong Kong. The first time since 1987 they claimed the 5-player team gold medal at the 2011 World Tenpin Bowling Association World Women's Championship. Shannon Puhowski, Stephanie Nation, Shannon O'Keefe, Liz Johnson, Kelly Kulick, and CDB, your 5-player women's team that took down Singapore 12-10 to 11-40 for the title. While CDB, a 2-time PWBA Bowler of the Year, looks to increase her 21-pin lead. Here's what's in the bag today for Carolyn Doran-Ballard as we look at her arsenal. Defiant, Shooting Star, Frantic. Shooting Star is the one that she's been going with so far today. Back on the strike train.
Every ball in the pocket. She's kind of saws the rack a little bit there, throws a couple into the 7 pin, and now it's strike, spare, spare, strike. Carolyn's clean through 4. Take a look at some of Sandra Anderson's mishaps early on. She whips the 7 pin in the 1st. This is the 10 pin in the 2nd.
Sandra, come on, 10 pin. Why you got to be like that? Still without a strike.
And it's not like she can't hit the pocket. She's hit the pocket. It's the single pin misses that has dug her a 22 pin deficit thus far.
Well, spare play is how you win or lose at this level. And that's how she's losing right now. Bullied that one into the pit.
I mean, you got to think to yourself, it's got to be somewhat nervous energy that's creating that. I mean, you know, you start thinking a little bit different thoughts, and all of a sudden you get out of your element, and a little lapse in concentration is all it takes to miss one. We saw Mika miss one to lose the US Open. One of the greatest spare shooters, reigning player of the year. It happens. The question is why, and how do you prevent it?
If you knew that answer, you'd be a richer man right now.
Quite honestly, I have an idea. I mean, we saw Sean Rash miss the 10-pin that gave Mika basically that just handed the title to Mika in the first WPBT show, right? We've seen Sean do that quite a bit. I do have.
What is it?
You got to stop thinking. Remember when Mika did the interview after the US Open, they interviewed him and they asked him what happened. And he said, quite honestly, I just started thinking the wrong way. I started thinking the wrong thoughts. Bottom line, he started thinking. A wise man once said, don't think, it'll only hurt the ball club.
Another wise man once said, if you think, you stink.
You just got to shut it off, man.
Yep.
Put it on autopilot.
Easier said than done. That's my golf game. My head is talking all day long on the course, and it sneaks in, and it obviously can do that here when the lights and the TV cameras are on.
These players practice hundreds of games a week to program their body to perform a certain way. And when you interrupt that by consciously thinking or thinking outside the box, that's when bad things happen.
That's why sports psychology is a growing business in this world.
Oh, I didn't tell you? I'm opening a practice.
Nice pickup there as CDB's husband, the Hall of Famer Del Ballard, looks on. Great news. The health front for Del was really struggling a while ago when we saw him on the tour last year. They went back to the doctor, and the update from the doctor, awesome.
I've known Del for a long time. He's been a dear friend of mine for a long time, and there were a lot of people that were very concerned with Del and his health, and we're all ecstatic and very happy with his progress.
Carolyn leaves the 10. It was throat cancer.
Tonsils, actually, had cancer of the tonsil and a couple of lymph nodes, and it's actually very rare. But like I said, Del's doing very well, and
he looks great too.
Yeah.
Thinned out, and his wife's biggest supporter, and well, he's there. He watches every time she steps up on the hardwood and is there to offer some very informed coaching. But Carolyn, talking to her the other day, first words out of her mouth after you saw the big smile, life is good. Life is better after that spare pick up there. Her husband is doing well. Their daughter Alyssa is excelling in second grade. Said to mom, don't come home without a golden trophy, Ma. And Ma is in control of that trophy right now. Looking for her first strike of the title match is Sandra Anderson. She is still hunting for it.
well, she liked that shot and it looked pretty good, and then right before it got in front of the head pin, it kind of snapped on her. Fortunately, only leaving the 4-7. Watch this, pretty good shot here. It looks good, and then all of a sudden it just starts to break loose.
3 consecutive spares for Anderson now. Make that 4 consecutive spares after those opening empty frames. Messenger, yeah! All right, exhale, smile, sit, enjoy. Time now for the fast, safe, pain relief replay, brought to you by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin. Come on, Messenger, yeah. A little headbutt to drop it down.
This is a fast one.
That was a long time coming. So bad you can laugh about it. One of those outings. CDB up 24. Leave some wood up.
Well, it's not over yet. I mean, let's not start throwing dirt on Sandra Anderson. I mean, she's got a strike working. Carolyn hasn't doubled up yet. She's kind of waiting for her. Seen it happen before. Somebody gets lined up late, they string them, and the player that was in cruise control ends up getting run down from behind.
Yeah, Sandra has that look like she's lurking in the weeds, waiting for somebody to take a misstep.
Come on, man. Stop on your hands for God's sake.
So we're done with 7. Coming up next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's the Don Carter division of the PBA World Championship. First of 4 eliminator format shows. Jack Jurek is your only American in the show. Outside of that, 2 Englishmen, Don Barrett and Stuart Williams. Of course, the two-handed wonder, Oscar Palermo. Carolyn still jawing to herself as we begin the 8th.
Not this time.
Strike number 3.
There's still a little fire burning in that gut.
A little? A little?
She'd punch you right in the head if she had the opportunity, you know that, and wouldn't
I
even
don't
think
doubt
twice.
it at all. I don't doubt it at all.
She's feisty
God,
and a
love
lot
her.
of fun to watch.
Well, her entire family, just absolutely wonderful to be around. Let's see what Anderson has. Working on her first strike, looking for a double in the 8th.
Can't buy a break. Last shot went high. She makes the adjustment, moves in just a pinch on that lane, and comes up light again. Running out of frames now. Get the shovel ready.
Spare for Anderson. Inaugural Ballard, big fight, 23, 9th round.
Earlier today, the reigning PBA Player of the Year won the World Bowling Tour men's title. The Big Finn from Finland, 6-bagger in the title match versus Sean Rash, and then Rash begin those issues on television with the 10-pin in the 9th. Just handed that one over to Mika, who won it 237-224. Lead at 23.
Best she can shoot is 194 if she strikes out. Carolyn Doran Ballard, if she spare strikes out, shoots 197.
Looks good. That looked good all the way.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Obviously, 10 back. 3 more of those in the 10th frame and see what happens. But right now, she'll watch Carolyn Doran Ballard. Carolyn, all she has to do is stay clean, get good count, and she will walk away with the WBT title.
3 strikes, 5 spares through 8 frames for Carolyn Doran Ballard.
Hit it.
7 pound.
Well, that strike there would have all but sealed the deal. You heard her trying to coax that over into the 7-pin.
CDB remaining clean through 9. 23 pin advantage as we begin the 10th. A look of resignation from Sandra Anderson as CDB just 18 pins away from winning this one.
This is where you don't think, you just throw. It's like your bowling practice session. No meaning. Pretty good there. She knows the score, and she steps up here and makes a really good shot. Gets the ball into the swish zone, carries all 10. She needs 8 pins and 2 balls. I like her chances.
Way to go out on a limb, Randy. Her husband waiting in the wings, ready to celebrate. CDB bringing home the bacon. Eight for the win. Got it. Yeah!
World Bowling Tour Women's Champion.
Another trophy for Carolyn Doran Ballard, and we'll hear from our champion when we return to Vegas. The GEICO World Bowling Tour Finals, presented by the PBA, is brought to you by Barbazol. Start your day cool with new Arctic Chill shaving cream from Barbazol. Better buy Barbazol. By Jack Link's. Jack Link's beef jerky, feed your wild side. And by GEICO, saving people money on more than just car insurance. We welcome you back to the South Point Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas. Our continuing coverage of the GEICO World Bowling Tour Finals. Time now for your GEICO Championship recap. Match number 1, the all-Swedish showdown between that young lady, 20-year-old Sandra Anderson, who had a double in the first and the second frames, another one in frames 6 and 7. She took care of Nina Flack by 30, 190, 160. She struggled in the early stages of the championship match. Carolyn Doran Ballard did not. She was clean throughout. Strikes in the first, the fourth, the 8th, and here to win it in the 10th. 207, 162, another title for CDB, and Randy standing by with her lane side.
Thanks, Rob. Carolyn, I know it's been a while since you won anything. How does it feel to be back in the winner's circle?
Pretty overwhelming. You know, it's funny. We really just haven't had that much to bowl, and I've made a few shows, but I haven't won. And Dell and I had just been talking about that, and I'm like, gosh, you know, it's been a while. I really want to win again. But I'll tell you, I was nervous. You know, it's been a while. I haven't been on a show this year except once, and it's nerve-wracking. It still is, just like it was then.
And you managed your game beautifully. How were you able to do it?
Dell and Chris and I had a little talk before I started, and not one of my favorite patterns. Key was keep it in the pocket. Doesn't have to be anything wonderful. Keep it in the pocket, make your spares. It's not going to be a 250 game. And I said, okay.
Rob Stone says you're sassy. What would you like to say to him?
I like sassy because people actually think I'm mean, and really, I'm not.
You're not at all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats to the sassy CDB on the title. Up next, the first step on the road to the PBA World Championship, the first major of the year, the Carter Division here from the South Point Hotel and Casino.